Iran and so forth. Let's bring in Dan Brouillette, former U.S. Energy Secretary. We welcome to the show, first time, Tala Goudarzi, former Commerce Department official in Trump 1. Tala, you're highly recommended by Brouillette, so we'll see how this thing works out. Ha, ha, ha. Listen, you're actually from Iran. I mean, I believe part of you is Persian. Your dad worked in a Persian government under the Shah. The thing I wanted to ask you, from that perspective, I mean, it's not rocket science. They're all split. And, you know, you've got Vahidi, this thug Vahidi seems to be running the show. There's a guy named Zogadi who's running the show. They pushed out the foreign minister, Aragachi. You know, one day we're opening up the Strait of Hormuz. The next day we're closing it. What is going on? Do you have any sense? It seems like the factionalization is, well, it's going to kill them in the end anyway. But what do you say?
Well, thanks, Larry, for having me. I mean, you know, the facts speak for itself, and it's what you've been saying on this program today, and that my family was very lucky to escape Iran after the revolution and a little bit before the revolution. But what's happening now, on top of the 40,000 people that were killed during the protests, there's still thousands of people dying every single day within the past 51 days now of this conflict. They're being hung by cranes, publicly hung. They're also being jailed and then moved from the jail to an undisclosed location. And then days later, their parents are notified that they've been killed. And I say parents, Larry, because these are kids. These are ages 18 to 35-year-old kids that are just fighting for their basic rights to sing in public, to practice a religion they want to, and their basic rights that have been taken away from them for the past 47 years.
Tala, you know, in this, look, I know horror story after horror story. I mean, it's like a Nazi regime. It's like a Nazi regime, the most gruesome we've seen in 100 years, nearly 100 years. But these thugs, you know, Vahidi and others, these thugs who have taken over, they've been around a long time. This is a mob operation. They own businesses. They own large chunks of the economy. And one of my points today is I want to make sure their offshore banking accounts are frozen and seized. In other words, we're bottling them up in terms of the Iranian oil ports. Okay, they're not going to get any money there, so they won't make payroll, and their retirement plans are going down. But I want to make sure their banking assets are gone, too. I don't think people understand that this is run like, you know, this is run like a Mexican government cartel.
That's absolutely right. I mean, and the president's taken action against this regime, the brave and historic action that we've seen that no other president has had the guts, frankly, to do. And he's proven that not only can this Iranian regime keep their own people hostage, they can't keep the Strait hostage anymore either. And so what we're seeing is truly historic and hopefully taking action against a regime that is truly medieval in nature.
Dan, you know, Dan, can we go? I want to go after, you've been associated with this when you were running the Energy Department. We could take these banking assets and put them in escrow in the Treasury Department. I want to cover every base, you see, not just the oil money, Dan, but they own all these businesses and they've been putting them in offshore accounts in UAE and Bahrain and Oman and Turkey and, you know, Azerbaijan. I want them all. I want this out. No way they can have any access because they're going to go for it when push comes to shove.
That's right, Larry. And it goes well beyond the oil money. We do have to understand that these are businesses. They're conducting business around the world. And I think what we have now is a president who understands very clearly that the dollar is still a strategic asset around the world. And he's using it. So every check that is cleared by any bank anywhere in the world that involves Iranian commerce should be made immediately radioactive in terms of receiving a sanctions letter from the U.S. Treasury. And I think Scott Bessent understands that very, very well. He clearly understands that, you know, the dollar, the banking system, those are assets that are important to us in America, but are important to the Iranians as well. I'll make one other point, Larry. When we talk about oil, it is about oil money to some degree. Right now, Iran takes about $120 or so. That's their break-even point to keep their economy going. They're selling their oil at $60 a barrel, Larry. $60. You don't need a PhD in economics to figure out that the money is where the action is. If we freeze it, they're going to go away pretty quick.
I tell you, you blockade the ports and you freeze the money, and they're going to go down even faster. And probably it'll be, you know, less combat bombing. I understand the president may have to bomb again, and that's his prerogative, and he's done a fabulous job. And so is our military and our Air Force and so forth. But this financial, the economic and financial squeeze, you know what I mean? mean, kids? The economic and financial squeeze is an underrated weapon in this whole story. And that's why I want to see that squeeze go on week after week. They can talk as much as they want. I want to squeeze the oil, squeeze the banks, squeeze the businesses. Don't let them make payroll. I'm being cute about that, but they're a bunch of Nazi thugs, and I don't want them to have anything. I'm sorry we're running short. Dan Brouillette, Tala Goudarzi, please come back on the show. We appreciate it very much.